Hello, everyone, to the very first episode of Face of Who. And this has been a very big goal of mine, dream of mine. And I'm very proud to hold this podcast for you guys. I am your host, Just, and I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. And today, I have a very special guest on here on the podcast. We got Joshua Hutchins from Arizona, a small upcoming YouTuber / streamer.
What up, y'all? What up? How y'all doing?
Alright, so Josh,
What up, man?
who is Joshua? Who is Joshua Hutchins?
Basically, I'm just a normal, ordinary city kid that grew up in small towns. I moved to the city life because that's what I've always wanted as a young kid. But just basically a young kid just making it into the scene.
Right.
Just a man.
So you lived in this. You mentioned you lived in a city.
Yeah.
Where exactly?
Man, I was a Wyoming boy when I was
Wyoming.
small. Wyoming, town that everybody thought didn't exist.
Right.
Yeah, it does exist. I mean, I was from there. I grew up from there. I've always been from there, and I decided that I wanted to move into cities, and so I first took it to Colorado.
So that's your hometown,
Denver. Yes,
Wyoming. All right,
Colorado.
that's sick.
Definitely. It is nice, and I lived there for 10 years.
10
And then I
years,
moved-
10 full years. That's awesome.
10 full years.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. That's awesome.
Grew culture for everything for Denver. Moved to Arizona, and I still currently live here.
Right.
It's been great. I love the city.
So,
Yeah.
Joshua,
What up, man?
what is your vision in the present? What's your vision like?
My vision. I mean,
Current goals.
I mean, man, I have so many goals. A lot of people kind of judge me for my goals because they are a lot of goals for someone who has to work extremely.
That makes a whole lot of sense,
I
Josh.
want to do sports. I also want to do music. It's a lot of high-paying jobs, but they're not easy by any means. So
You
wanna
mentioned
do this-
music.
yes,
What kind of music?
man. I've realized that I can rap a little bit. I also play guitar. I also dreamed of like being a music producer and a music engineer to make like beats for songs.
Whoa.
I've learned over time like some things you can do with shit like that. So I mean, yeah.
What's your motivation for? Let's start off with why do YouTube?
Why do YouTube? Honestly, when I first came into YouTube, I was just looking for something to fill the voids, you know.
Right.
I was doing YouTube by myself, and I was just doing random stuff all over, right? And all my friends would come and watch, and it just became a thing. All my friends would bother to stay and
Right.
watch, but I've never really gained a high amount of subscribers over the years. I've just had a spike more recently.
This is a peak. This is a peak. A very high peak.
Very high peak. I went from
What
20
keeps you
and-
motivated?
What keeps me motivated to do
Right.
YouTube?
Yes.
Oh man, just the overall, like how I feel when I'm streaming. Like I know that I don't get bored while doing it. I do it quite a bit, right? And it's fun. I'm entertained while I'm doing it, and it's a good.
Right. Started streaming very consistently. Very consistently.
Yes.
Yep. So I could see that motivation with all the hype and all the comments coming in. They'd be like, we missed you. They used to watch you. They used to watch you play, and they came back and watch you now.
Exactly.
There was a certain break in your life, right? What caused that break? What caused that distraction?
man, a whole ton of stuff. Every once in a while I get busy with things I have to do in my life, things that I have to keep a hold of
Right.
because they're very important. And there's one of those dull moments, and I have to keep a hold of my stuff to like keep myself in check. And it's been a moment where I was not streaming for a very long time, you know.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, just one of those moments. But then I recently streamed again, and people were surprised to see me back in the new scene.
They all tuned in. They all tuned in. Your
Yeah,
highest video stands at 47 views.
47.
47
It
views.
was it
And
was all in like one video. It was
that
all in one
is
video.
and that was a live stream, which
Yes.
makes you think that 46 people went out their way and watched through all of the live stream. I looked at
Yeah.
the I looked at the analytics, and it shows that nobody just clicked on the video and went back out. They all came on the live stream, and they
Yeah.
all tuned in from either middle or whatever they started to all the way to the end.
Yeah.
So
It was.
it shows that they admire your entertainment and what you
Yeah.
have to give.
It was very special, especially at the moment I was at 20. So I mean, yeah, most people would look at, oh, it's only 40 people when you could be a guy who's pulling in 10,000,
Right.
20,000, etc. But the thing was, is at the time I am someone who is not on recommendeds. I have 20, and all of a sudden I just pull in 40, 50 at the same time. Because
Yep.
I pop on recommendeds and I'm pulling them in for an hour, 2 hour long video, and they're here to watch. And they stayed for the whole time. They were commenting, we were having a great time. And that was the highest video. And that wasn't more recently, I think. I don't know if it was before I stopped or after I stopped.
Yeah, that was in 2K21.
It was in 21. All
Yep.
right. Yeah, so that was a little while ago. I could admit that was a little while
Yes.
ago.
So Joshua, you is school a distraction to you?
Not necessarily, man. Like, actually, doing really good for me. I have I'm really good at doing my sports. I'm good at doing music, but also school it's benefiting. It takes out of a lot of time in the day, which I mean, if you're trying to aim for something in the educational fields, at
Right.
least in a little bit, it benefits. Like, for example, my music career, to be a music producer, to own, like,
Right, right, right.
to have a major in business and a minor in music. And I can only get a major in business if I pass, like, if I pass high school and I go to college.
Right.
Things like that.
What grade are you in? And how old
Oh,
are you? We
I'm a
slid past that.
sophomore. Yeah, I'm a sophomore. Sophomore. I'm 16 years old.
Right.
So yeah, moving
That's
on.
awesome. That's awesome. Doing
Yeah.
YouTube, doing music,
Yep.
or wanting to do music and
Yep.
produce,
Yep.
streaming,
Yep.
sports,
Yep.
studying,
All of it.
education,
All
all
of
of
it.
it,
I have
all of it.
all of it.
How do you keep that all in mentally?
Ah, man, I just throw myself in and do what I do best. I just do my thing. I just don't stop. I mean, there are days like, man, the weekends are my days. Like, man, like, studying is not for the weekends. I
To
swear.
focus on yourself, right?
Yeah, man, it's myself weekend, man. I get to chill, and then, but on Sunday I kind of tone it down a little bit, and I get ready again, and then I get after it again, and then I go to school. I do what I need to do. I mean, I cannot say I'm a goody good, but I sure as hell can say that I do what
You
I
got a
do my
routine.
best.
You got a schedule. You got a schedule.
Yeah, I do my best, but I'm not a goody good. I
Right.
will tell you that. Not a
What?
goody good, but I do what I need to do in there.
So your vision for the future, right? It's to do a lot of things, variety of things, not just one thing, right?
Yeah, it's
And
a whole variety.
so speaking of career, right? What is your final career job that you really are passionate about? Be it not
Oh,
YouTube, be it not a streamer, be it
man.
not a music, just anything.
Oh, that's a good question. Uh, it can't do anything with music.
Music, oh, an alternate side, an alternate,
Honestly, I
or
have no clue. I mean, I haven't given it too much thought, and
right.
that's why I'm playing the risky game. I haven't really thought about too much like, oh, if I were to get an ordinary job, what would I do? I haven't
Hmm.
really taken the time to think about that yet. And I
Yes.
probably should because it's smart, I need to
Right.
be thinking of that stuff
So
before I
you
move on.
mentioned Wyoming being your hometown, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
That's your hometown, and now you are a resident in Arizona.
Yes.
What is
I
your
am.
future move-in dream? Where would you
Oh,
love to move in?
California.
California.
Definitely, definitely California, man. Like, I know there's a lot of people there. It's about as good as it gets.
Now,
But
is it LA that you're most interested in?
yes, most
And
definitely.
that is a awesome place. If you did decide to do YouTube long term, there's an awesome place to film content.
Yeah,
Vlog wise, streaming wise, awesome. Just awesome all around.
yep.
And I love that. I love that. California. I love that.
Yeah, it's
Um
nice, man.
so as in work. You do work, right?
I used to have a job, but I had to quit for school.
What did you work as? All of your jobs, what were they?
Oh man, I've only
Or the
had
most,
one job.
what
I've had
what
one job.
what was that job?
It was Applebee's. I worked a little bit in
Applebee's.
Applebee's because I had to get enough money for
Right,
something I was doing.
right.
And then after that, I started school, and yeah, that was pretty much it.
Were
I
there
started
any
school.
interesting stories you had in Applebee's?
Honestly, not too many. Just the day in, day out. Every once
Hmm.
in a while, you'll get someone who is like, kind of
Yeah,
Karen like.
I have a story. I was working at the movie theaters, right?
Yeah,
And and usually they would put me as the cashier, right?
yeah,
So I was serving hot dogs, pizza, popcorn, and all that, And this
yeah,
old man came in. He wanted a hot dog, right? It
yeah,
is not my job to. My job is only to hand you the hot dog that is made. I do not make the
yeah,
hot dog. I do not put the hot dog in the tin foil. I give you the hot dog myself. So
yeah,
seemingly the hot dog wasn't foiled correctly. In quotation, it wasn't foiled correctly. It looked nicely foiled,
yeah,
sealed and everything. He didn't like that it wasn't sealed correctly, and I offered to for him to return that and give him a new one, right?
yeah,
Customers always first.
yeah.
He didn't like that. So that is the first time I got a bunch a ton of hot dog to my face.
Wow.
Right, and
Threw that
crazy
shit? He
thing
threw
is,
that shit?
yep, he chucked it at me. Crazy thing
What?
is, the manager didn't do anything about it. And so
Wow.
the day after that, I had walked away, which is
Oh
good.
my
Not
god.
now, Josh.
Yeah, I mean that
What
is actually cool.
now? This is the big question. What would you do?
Oh man, that's a hard decision, man. If we're talking
Putting
about
everything. Say in Arizona, job you can't get a job easily, right? Or can you? Um, I do
it
not know.
depends. Yeah, I
So
mean the salary's pretty not salary, the your hourly is kinda like it's decent. It's not the best though.
right. So what would you have done?
What would I have
Putting that
done?
on the line, thinking that
Honestly,
you would have quit and you couldn't, and it was it's kind of difficult to get another job.
honestly, if it was the workplace's fault, I would have just if it was a problem with my managing, not my managing, but the management at the workplace, I
Right,
probably would have quit as well and then went to a new job that suits better for me. But if it's just a Karen, it's just other day Karen, and you're gonna have to leave the job just to go to another job that pays exactly the same. So, I mean, I
right,
probably would have just stayed unless it was a management problem and they were failing to do their job.
right.
So yeah, that's probably what I would have done. You know,
So, Josh, what advice would you give to your younger self?
man, don't get caught up by what other people say, man. There are a lot, but there's gonna be a ton of people that are always gonna try and say stuff to get you down or to get you feeling like you can't do something.
Right.
Go on, do it. That's false. Like anything you want to put your mind to and work at, you can do it. Just have to put work into it, man. You can't just do it. You have to put work into it.
Right.
You know? I
Speaking,
definitely.
adding on to that, tell me a time when you were streaming and you felt like giving up.
Oh, man. When I felt like giving up,
Giving up.
probably. Oh, I don't really know, man. Uh, honestly, when there's just not too much going on, man. Like when I'm just doing my thing, but nothing's coming in. I'm trying, but it's
Right.
harder. Yeah, it's pretty much only when I've always felt like maybe I
Have
should
you
just
had any experiences with, people in the comments when you're streaming being, extremely disrespectful?
oh yeah, that's a normal thing though. People are always gonna be hating on you, preying on downfall, because they hate to see people succeed,
Right.
even the
And
slightest. I mean, I don't
so,
even think I succeeded yet. You know?
right, but what was your gut reaction when, when people say that in a official way?
Obviously it doesn't feel good, you know. But I mean,
You gotta power right through
over
it.
time, yeah, I've learned to power through it. I've
Yep.
learned to just like be like, all right, man. I mean, I just ignore that comment, ignore this one. I've always learned that YouTube is a fun, but also a not exactly a scary place, but definitely a hatred place for streamers. You
Right,
gotta
but
learn that if you're gonna do YouTube, there is gonna be some people that are always going to say that you're doing it wrong or doing it bad. So you always
absolutely.
got to ignore the bad comments, but accept all the great stuff. You got to learn how to love it. You know,
Yep, love, love,
most important
love.
thing.
That's important. Love is a really unique word, you know?
Yes, very
And
true.
now, speaking of love, you know where I'm going with this. Love
You know,
life.
love life. Like,
Love
oh yeah, yeah.
life.
For
What's going on? What's going on?
uh,
Exes, current. What's going on?
like love, like
Love, love,
love, like
love,
just in general.
love.
What
Just this
about it?
and love. Like right now, what is love to you? What is love to you? Let's start off
Man,
with that.
love is not. Uh, first thing I can say, love is not something you just like have. It's more like it's not even just an action. It's something that is like it's an earnable thing, and it's only felt when man, it's hard to explain, man. This is a difficult question right there. Ooh. Uh,
Yes, it
man,
is. Yes, it is.
it is. It's basically for me. It is just the emotion of accepting someone. Uh,
Allowing someone to enter your life in a way, right?
yes, I feel like that's the best way. I wish I would have said that. But yeah, I mean,
Yep.
yeah, that's as best as the answer you can give. I mean, it's accepting someone for who they are and accepting them into your life. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be just like love in general. It could be a friend, it could be anybody. Love applies to
Yep.
anyone, your parents, your friends, spouse,
Now,
you know?
speaking of love life, you got any females right now?
I got one female, very important to me. Yeah,
Very important. Does she support
very,
your?
very,
Does she support everything?
yeah, she's been there for everything. I mean, throughout my whole season of sports, she's went to every game. She's been very supportive, and she's basically been there for me when I felt like I was down. She's always
That's
given me a helping
awesome,
hand.
Josh. Awesome. I love that for you. I love that. So she supports, YouTube, your guitars,
Yes.
your the music, she's passionate about all that with you.
She's passionate about most of the stuff. Some of the stuff she hasn't really been exposed to yet,
Right.
so she's still getting used to it. But all the sports is one of the main things, and of course, just us in general. You know, there's sports, and then just us. She's gotten used to
If you
us
were
being around each
to
other a lot.
give up sports, do you think she would understand?
Oh yeah, she'd understand. She's definitely one to. She's the one to always want to talk about what's going on.
Right.
Always. She will be all like, well, if something's going on, can we please talk about it so I can work it out with you, you know?
That's awesome.
She
So,
never ever wants anything to be unsure.
right. And any, you know, stories with, you know, crazy exes?
Oh, dude. A lot of them are. They're not necessarily crazy. They're just like unexpected.
Right.
But I mean, they're too long, man. It's just like I mean, and nothing's like really like content worthy. It's just so fun.
Right, right, right.
You know, like
So,
every once in a while I'll see. One time I saw one of my exes that I did not really. We weren't friends anymore. I
right.
saw her. We didn't go to the same school anymore, but I saw her again, and that was very very embarrassing. I hated that because I was all like, damn, this is kind of awkward, you know.
Yeah, it's really her, you know.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much as far as it goes. I mean, I haven't really had any like dull moments where I've had any awkward stories about
Right,
anything.
right. So, um, what is life in one word?
Oh, life.
In one word. To you. To you. It could be anything.
I feel like I've used this word before to explain life. I'm gonna say either a novel
Hmm.
or a book. That's it.
A
Novel
novel
or
or a
book.
book. Now
And that the
speaking,
reason why I say that. Now, I only
right,
say that because you know, in a book, I think of my life like someone, like an author, is
right.
writing my story into a book.
That's
You
awesome.
know?
That I think everyone, you know, really seems that way because life could be a roller coaster of emotions, a roller coaster of events that you would imagine on a book that
Yeah, exactly.
everyone would buy. You kind of think of, you know, the book being really, you know, like the book could be crazy because, you
Yeah,
know, it's about your life.
yeah, exactly.
So, speaking of, you know, scenarios and all that, events, if you were to describe your story, how would it go?
Man, it definitely be full of it's like roller coaster of events. I have a lot of moments where everything's going great and life is great, and then a couple moments where there's mess ups that cause frustration. Um, but yeah, it's basically a roller coaster. But
Right.
because of my view on my life being a book, I've come to accept everything
That's,
like the
yep.
way it is. And so
That's
basically, um, if something good happens, I've come to accept it. Like if someone good comes in my life, I'm not saying why'd I get so lucky.
right, right,
I've just come to accept that that's the way it is, and that I was set up in a way that I deserved it, right? And then if something bad, extremely bad goes on, that it's already written. That's already written in the book. There's no way to unwrite it. So
right.
why give it any attention if it's already
Hmm.
done deal, right?
Yeah.
I've learned that if you're ever stressed about something coming up, like a test at school, or just like um, something scary, like even
Something that
just
fills you with anxiety.
yes, anything like that, you've got to learn that if it is a situation that you will not remember in 10 to 20 years and you won't give a care about it in that many years, you got to stop worrying about it, man.
That's an awesome way to explain it, Josh.
Life is too short to worry about too much stuff, man.
That
You
doesn't,
gotta just take
that
one at a
doesn't
time.
affect anything in the present, or in the
Yep,
future.
very
That's
true.
awesome way to explain it. So, Josh, we're gonna get deep here. We
Okay, let's
met
see.
through video game, right?
Yes,
How
yes, we did.
has video games helped you?
Man, it's one of many things that has helped me just be more social. Before video games, I was a very shy kid. I can say that. And this is pretty much everything has contributed to this. But this has had a part from video games. And what it is when I was a kid, I was very shy, didn't talk to no one. And with games, teaming you up with random people to talk to, I've already accepted that, just talking to people that you're playing with isn't bad after all.
Yep.
That inspired me to grow older and not really be shy to talk to anyone or introduce myself to anyone and just speak out and be open and stuff.
Yeah.
I've learned how to talk a lot.
That's awesome.
Just
And what games in particular,
oh yeah,
give
2K.
you 2K?
No, 2K. It's 2K or Call of Duty or those two. It varies between those two,
Call of
and
Duty and 2K. The two most,
iconics.
iconic. Fortnite is up there.
Fortnite is up there.
But 2K and Call of Duty. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
We're gonna
it's
get into bread.
bread like money.
Bread. Are you into stocks?
Oh man, I used to do stocks, but I was horrible. I realized
Horrible.
that I did stocks for a little bit, and
Right.
once I did my stocks and I realized I wasn't good, I was like, oh, I can't get that back. I already lost a little too much money.
Right.
To
How
me,
much money did you lose? Estimate.
uh, I was about $50 to $70, and I made a mistake. I put in the stocks, and I accidentally pulled out, and I realized, oh shit, I can't get that money. And so ever since then, I mean, it
It's a
pays to be
learning process.
smarter
Yeah, it's a
with your
learning
money.
process. Yep.
But I mean, ever since then, I just haven't really messed with it that
Do you
much.
plan on doing it in the future?
Probably, if I have enough money sitting around that I can do it again, I probably would.
Yeah, it's the
You
new
know,
wave. It's the new wave of the metaverse. Just
it
a
sure is.
very internet way of making money that many people are doing right now.
Yeah,
Um,
very true.
do you do drugs?
No, I've been clean my whole life. I've never smoked, never drank,
Have you
never done
had
drugs.
family members that have done drugs?
Well, I'm pretty sure every adult has done at least something in their lifetime, right?
Right.
So I'm pretty sure, even if my family hasn't told me, I'm almost positive that they've at least done something once. Like it's hard to say that someone has not done anything. If they're sober, good for them, right? But like, it's
Right.
hard to say that you've never ever done something, you know?
Yeah.
But yes, I know some family members in particular that I know that they have done either of the three, and I know I've seen it in my eyes,
What about friends?
Yes, I've friends have done them too.
How how do you deal with that do they pressure you at all?
They try. I'm
How do you
really good
deal
at
with
not
that peer
getting
pressure?
I am just fine. I've never really gotten affected by peer pressure my whole life.
Yeah, it's good. That's great.
If
You got a way of saying no and sticking
Yep,
by it. That's awesome.
yes,
That
it
is
is very
awesome.
really awesome.
So,
Really awesome.
we have a word from our sponsor. Let's take a quick break here to give out shout out to the very first and my very first sponsorship on the channel from our sponsor over at Fan Behavioral Apparel. Custom shirts and custom sweaters and jackets made completely comfortable for your choosing. Shipping arrives in about 1 week. Very fast and convenient. Returns accepted within 30 days of delivery, and cancellations can be canceled within 30 minutes. Check out their website at fanbehavioralapparel.com. And now back to the segment.
Damn. What company is that again?
Fanbehavioralapparel.com, Josh.
I'm gonna go check that out.
Yep. They
Sounds like
make
it's worth
custom t-shirts, custom sweaters, custom jackets. Check them out. So Josh, we're coming to an end to our very first episode. How are you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. So far, been a lot of fun. Had a lot of good questions. Made me think a little bit.
We're definitely gonna have you back on the show. We're definitely we will. Definitely will.
Come back.
And just one more question, Josh. How would you feel? How do you feel being being the co-host at times?
The co-host of like.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
Like
What do you think about it?
I mean, it's definitely cool. I mean, I like being brought on to these podcasts and being introduced. Like, hey, welcome to this, welcome to that. Right.
Right.
I think it's really cool to be introduced.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
A lot of fun.
Yep. So, thank you guys for tuning in to the very first episode of Face of Who. Today's face was Joshua Hutchins from Arizona. Again, a small upcoming YouTuber / streamer and potential music artist.